Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hollow Knight. Last time, we ventured deep past, down into the tunnel past the City of Tears, down into Ancient Basin, and what we saw down there was so unnerving that we decided to take our double jump back up to this spa in the Pleasure House to relax. Or some kind of story that I can string those two explorations together, because otherwise we were just going random places and seeing what was there, because that's what you do in this game. This time, I'm planning to do more of that exact thing. I'm thinking I'm gonna head back up to Crossroads. I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna maybe stop by Salubra's, stop by the Crub family, see how they're catching on. I don't know if I have any reason to revisit you yet. Probably not, but I could go grab some of these things. But my eventual goal for the rest of this episode is to get to Deepnest and finally start exploring this place, as one of the 3 dreamers we need to hunt rests deep within the Deep Nest. To start this episode, though, I would like to briefly revisit songstress Marissa and point out something that you've probably noticed by now, but just in case you haven't, I'll show it off. Her song is absolutely beautiful, and if I could, I would just sit here for the rest of the playthrough if I didn't have a mission to do. Cool part is, though, whenever you're inside one of the large outdoor areas in City of Tears, you can hear her singing from anywhere. I will have to admit that might not be exactly what the developers or the composer of the game was going for, but it's like my personal interpretation of it, that you can hear echoes of Marissa all throughout the City of Tears. It is really just, you know, a vocal backing for the track when you're in that outdoor area. It might not actually be Marissa, but, you know, and it's just that they share the same song and nothing more. To start today, I'm gonna be taking a prick stop. I'm gonna be taking a prick stop back at Dirtmouth. You know, normal words that people say. Do you have anything new? No, you're actually out of dialogue for once. His Ancient Basin hint is his last hint, and after that, he has nothing more to tell you, because I'm pretty sure you all know what to do. Follow the marks on your map. It's what you always do in adventure games. I don't believe the map shop is anything new. I could check. You still have mask shards, right? Yes, I'll buy this one. So I figure I should buy at least one. There we go. Or should buy one at some point soon so that I can, you know, start clearing out your inventory. Aha, here we go. Very last one. This one is actually the last one. I feel bad charging you so much for the previous shards, especially because it means I have to charge you even more for this one. 'Tis how the market works. Dug out another of these. Turns out I had a complete set. They didn't give me the creeps. I'd put the pieces together myself. Should I spend it all now? Yeah, sure. I equipped Fragile Greed at the end of last time. I think I can splurge a little bit on some power. Thank you for your time. I'll be back for the last was that your last soul shard? I should check. I'll be back for the last master shard some point else. Some time else. You're running out of stuff to sell. And is the map shop still out of stuff to sell? Indeed. Okay. Well, we're not actually done buying stuff from them. They will have more stuff later, but later will have to come in a little while. Okay. When Bretta's in the bed, you can dream nail her here for some unique dialogue. White Wanderer, don't be shy. Cold outside. Bed is soft. She's dreaming about us too. Her story is the same. At this point, I don't think I'm gonna see the other one, so here's what the other one is. I'll show it on screen, just so you can see for yourself. Now, I'd like to pay a visit to the Grub family, as well as Salubra. I don't remember the entrance to the well being that warm looking before. Hey man, you feeling okay? No, you are not. That's the answer. Welcome to Infected Crossroads. At 2 particular triggers in making your way through main game progression, the infection will take over the Forgotten Crossroads and transform it completely, introducing new enemies and hazards to be on the lookout for. That guy was, I don't even know, what was his name? It's like something, a violent husk. They rush at you, and as soon as they hit any physical surface, including yourself, including area of effect attacks or things like that, they explode, dealing 2 damage in a radius. This is a furious Vengefly. Flies directly towards you, and it's the most annoying thing ever. Thought the regular Vengeflies were bad? Oh, just wait for these guys. They even explode after they die. This guy was lucky enough to avoid most of the brunt of the infection, but the others have been transformed and mutated beyond imaginable imagination. That's all I had to say about that. The infection moving through the air seems to be coming from somewhere. Perhaps from this place. And if you go to the other side, you can see, yes indeed, this place is like burning on the inside. It looks like a furnace in Minecraft if you're smelting a piece of pork chop. But really, it's unchanged. The door isn't any cracked or anything. It's not any more open. It's just all this bulbous crap has come out of it ever since we went down to Ancient Basin. It's almost like Ancient Basin knew what we did down there. It knew about all the strikings I made against its fellow orange bubbles. I'm doing such a great job of commentating this episode. Hope you don't mind. Anyway, I cut down all those orange bubbles, and I even defeated the broken vessel, and now it knows, and it has grown angry. And I'm very sorry to the Forgotten Crossroads for it. Because now the area is like 12 times worse. The wildlife around here is freaking suffering, except for you guys. You guys seem fine. You're only a little bit infected. You only care a tiny bit about infection. Otherwise, you're able to stave it off. We got even more infected cruisers now. I can't remember their names off the top of my head, so I'll just go with that. These guys drop infection down from themselves, which transforms this room into an absolute nightmare if you're coming up from below. They also explode after being killed, just like the furious Vengeflies. Now, pow. Stay away from that. I put on Fragile Greed, so not only can I make up for the money I just spent, but, so I can show it off a little bit, because there is a subtle thing with it. If I kill you, I can show. You see the geo that's like glowing there, was a little extra shiny? That is the extra geo that this charm drops. It has a nice little indication for how much more you're getting. I love it when games do that. Honestly, I kind of wish they extended the same thing to Fragile Heart, which I also have equipped. I didn't just get 9 pieces of health from nowhere. That's from a charm. Ori and the Will of the Wisps has a visual indicator for when your health is being extended by an equipable ability, and I kind of wish this game did the same thing, but it's fine. Okay. Very, very happy you guys are okay. You seem to be fine over here by yourself, but I would recommend moving somewhere else pretty soon. They actually don't end up moving somewhere else pretty soon, but still, this is a dangerous place to live now. I'm concerned about their safety. I want them to seek brighter futures, and not brighter in that way. That is not, it might look very bright and glowy, but that is not what I would call a bright future. Gave us a Hallow Nest seal there, and also the game lagged. That wasn't just your videos, that was actually for me too. I don't know why that happened. I've had this game straight up, threaten to freeze my entire computer sometimes, and I have no idea why. It's not the only game that does this. It might be a Unity engine thing. Alright, well, as you can see, the ambient music has also changed to a much more terrifying version, and whenever you head inside of a room that played the quieter version of the Forgotten Crossroads theme before, it now plays no music at all. Just to show how far this place has fallen from grace. It already has fallen from grace pretty far, but it somehow managed to get even worse. Ow. I forgot that guy was still there. This is meant to show clear as day what the infection is capable of. It has made these enemies all the more stronger, which is not only a great way to raise the difficulty and raise the challenge as the game progresses, but it's also a great plot device, showing you what's happening to the world and basically giving you a reason to explore. We are, in the end, seeking a way to put a stop to this. Because, it hasn't been entirely clear up to this point, but we are trying to stop the infection. It's not a good thing. I think we killed a new enemy in this room. Yeah, that was a slobbering husk. They are a very mutated leaping husk that shoots fireballs at you instead of leaping at you. They've been infected so much, their attacks have entirely changed to just throwing the infection at you. That's how badly infected we're speaking. Alright, you guys are everywhere, man. It's really annoying. My first mark on the map for this area is over here, where there's that tiny little blug sack I'd like to get, so let's go to get that first. And avoid you. I see you there at the top of the screen. I know you have a journal entry, but trust me, I will be more than able to get their entry in due time. Ah, I see you've perked up and gotten back to mining again. How's... Mila? Mila, are you... Is that someone else? Are you... We try to dream nail her. Bury my mother, pale and slight. The other husk miners in Crystal Peak do not say that. We only know one person who would. That's her. The infection got to her before we could do something about it. There are many myths and videos online claiming that there's a way to save Mila. There is not. That is fake. This always happens no matter what. It occurs upon obtaining the Crystal Heart. This happened a long time ago, so it doesn't correspond with the Crossroads becoming infected. We just didn't see it for ourselves until now. Rest in peace. I won't forget you, Mila. You were very charming, very adorable. One of the few friendly faces we ever found down here. There are so many more deserving fates for you than that. All this for a stupid rancid egg and a journal entry, I guess, but is that worth another person's life? Well, you know, that wasn't entirely in my control, you see. I'm trying to justify something that I'm not even fully, like, against myself on. Easily tracked down if you have a sense of smell. I strongly suggest you do not eat its eggs. That would be an interesting thing for games to do, like, use your sense of smell. I mean, like, your sense of real-life smell. Now, obviously, that's way too hard to do without doing some weird, like, dystopian shit, like a smell device that hooks into the game and emits the smell of whatever is in the game. Like, who would actually want that? Let's take the smell device into Dark Souls. We're gonna really enjoy being in Blighttown with that thing. Alright, looks like Mila differs from the other husk miners in that she cannot throw her pickaxe. I want to see what these guys say. Dig, kill, wealth. That's all the others say, so you could clearly see there Mila was different from them. I love that, though. With both that and infected Crossroads, it's showing you what the infection does without even having to say any more than that. It's showing you how bad the infection is, and by invoking that emotional response from you, by taking this friendly character and just turning them into nothing more than an enemy because of the infection, you now more than ever want to follow along the plot and stop the infection by any means necessary. I think that is super well done. Love it when games do that. It's something basically like any media can do, books and movies, but because the games are much more interactive than that, it feels a lot more effective with games because, like, you're the player and you get the chance to actually put the stop to it instead of watching someone else do it or reading about someone else do it. On the way to False Night, we now have, or what once was False Night before we killed him, we now have this guy. This guy was once a husk guard who would fight you on the way to him, but now infection has taken him over and killed him. So bright. It is very bright, isn't it? It also kind of hurts to look at compared to the rest of the world. It has at least brought a new aesthetic to the dull blue, but even then, it really doesn't work that well. And, you know, in that case, you know, the infection looking pretty terrible and not giving this place the extra flavor it needed is okay, because the infection is the bad, evil substance that you don't want to like, so that makes perfect sense. But the Crossroads were already dull, so there's only so much the infection could do to make it look better. That's the end of what I had to say there, but it took me way too long to arrive at that destination. I'd like to make a small detour up here to show real quick. This husk guard, similar to the Grub family, is alive and well. And he's the only remaining husk guard in the entire game. You only encounter them in Crossroads. There are only 2 of them. One of them is permanently killed now. This guy's the only one left. If you don't have their journal entry yet, you will have to kill this guy, find a bench, come back, kill this guy again, repeat until you have it. That is why I recommended that you farm them earlier on. Or rather, instead of farm them, that you come back and visit them and kill them again. Whenever you're passing by the area, whenever you're, like, passing by the area with either of them, go and kill them again. That way you can unlock the entry much sooner, and you don't have to worry about it. These things, light seeds, we saw them last time, and they now spawn in this room every time you pass through. This is because they have a journal entry, and this is the only place that they appear in the game now. Strange air has been seeping down from above for years. Some of the air became liquid, and some of that liquid became flesh, and some of that flesh came to life. I don't know what to make of it. Strange air seeping from down above. We know that the hunter resides in Green Path, and technically, the Temple of the Black Egg is above him. We're seeing now this strange air is very much seeping from this temple. Okay, I'm looking around the map for things I can do now. I can see this thing that I haven't been to, and I have been able to get it for a long time, but I've saved it until now. Now that we're here, we're in the area. In fact, I was just there and I just left. Let's go back, but make a quick backtrack, and see what it has for us. I got Spore Shroom equipped. Will I ever remember to use it? Maybe on this Crawlid. There we go. that was actually really fun. I may have killed you repeatedly in days past, but even I think you deserved a better fate than turning into fiery soap bubbles. Jump up with our brand new double jump. Do I have the Husk Bully's journal entry yet? I'm not really sure. That's what that enemy was that I just killed. Why do I remember the name of Husk Bully and no other enemy in this entire game? Now that we just made our way through that, we can unlock a shortcut back to the beginning, so you no longer need to Crystal Heart through. You can just double jump, which is much quicker. Or you could even single jump, I would assume. You dropped no Geo at all. Interesting. Let's kill this Aspen Mother. You dropped Geo. Do you drop Geo? Okay, you dropped Geo. Okay, I have a theory for why the first one didn't drop Geo, and it's because of... we're not there yet. It's because of this. This is a combat arena, and usually I don't think the enemies in here drop... okay, well then that goes against that. Okay, I have no idea why those guys didn't drop Geo. Usually boss minions don't drop any Geo, like any regular enemy summoned by a boss don't drop any, so maybe those were incorrectly flagged as boss minions? I have no idea how that would happen. They're clearly not boss minions. There's no boss here unless this counts, which I don't think it does. Ow, okay, I just took 3 hits in a row from, like, the most basic projectile shooters in the entire game. Okay, Aspen Mothers are here. Get them down, get them down. They deserve to die most often. The most here. Okay, there's their journal entry. Do I have their children's journal entry? Yeah, oh my god. You were off screen. I couldn't see that coming unless I listened for it. Which, even then, you only make, like, one little sound cue. Managed to kill all those guys. And your reward is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Along with, quite possibly, the weirdest charm in this game. Glowing Womb. For 2 notches and soul, this charm will gradually spawn hatchlings around yourself over time. Each hatchling will drain 8 soul upon being spawned, and they will spawn every 4 seconds up to a maximum of 4 hatchlings. Once the hatchlings are spawned, they will fly around you and then target the nearest enemy, fly into them, and inflicting 9 damage, after which they die. Any hatchlings lost in this process will automatically respawn themselves for the cost of yet another 8 soul. So this is a charm that drains your soul over time in exchange for dealing passive damage to nearby enemies, and there are a few charms that spawn minions or similar things that, in a way, do passive damage, and I think this one is the highest damage dealing one of them all, which is why it costs soul. That said, you know, it still costs soul, and if you're using spells, your soul is better saved for those spells or for heals. But if you're a little confident, if you think that you can handle the enemies in the next region without taking damage, and you're just planning to go in with the nail, you could always equip them and go with something else. In fact, I'll probably consider equipping them later this video. Equipping it later this video, I mean, not them. Breed. 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 Sorry, I probably shouldn't be saying that. That sounds creepy coming from me, a human being. That's all that's there. And that room does look just the same level of infection even before the Crossroads become infected. I just like going in there once the Crossroads are infected because I think it fits better. I love what happens when those guys run off screen. Yeah, they like, not only was that orange flash there, but in the longer rooms, you'll have them like target you, and then if you could jump over them, they run all the way to the end of the room, and then all you can sense is the tiny earthquake that happens when they hit the wall. Hello, false knight, or armor that once contained the false knight. Let me show you what I like to call a piece of why the fuck did you do it this way? This passageway is blocked. Even though you can pop other bubbles of infection all throughout the place, these ones are metal or something. They are blocking the doorway. There is no way inside. None of your attacks open it back up. From what I know, not even nail arts, none of that. You just straight up can't go through this door anymore. I have absolutely no idea why they decided this was a good idea, but yeah. And now that the Crossroads are infected, you just can't go through the False Knight's arena to reach Ancestral Mound or get to the other side of Crossroads quicker anymore. You now always have to take the long way around. Well, let me tell you, that's not all. For one thing, there's a sign out of bounds floating on the abyss. Great job, guys. That was actually really satisfying, holy shit. Oh my god, so was that. I used this infection to bounce me up there. But for another thing... Excuse me. For another thing. This way is blocked too. This right here can no longer go from the stag station down to the bottom area. You now have to go up here through this hallway down this way. What were they thinking? I'm sure they had a design intent behind it, but they made a world that is so nice and quick and easy to explore, to the point that sometimes I even choose not to use the fast travels in favor of just making my way around naturally, because the world is that much fun to traverse, especially once you have all the later abilities that allow you to go to so many places. And then, you progress through the game, the Crossroads turn to this infected stage, which is awesome from a plot perspective, shows you everything you need to know, and from also a game design perspective and making early areas harder as you go, without feeling contrived or forced. And then they block 2 of the doorways for no goddamn reason? What the fuck? That's so anti-Hollow Knight to me. The rest of the game feels like it was designed... Okay, well, then again, I think back to the death system, and maybe I should go against this. But, the rest of the world is designed to be pretty convenient. Aside from, the paid geo to go into this door or whatever. But even then, the geo prices are low. And then they do this shit. I don't get it. It feels like a completely different developer came in and designed Infected Crossroads. Or they just thought it would be a cool idea and didn't really know, what its effect on gameplay would be. Anyway, I'm paying a visit to Salubra again so I can buy a charm notch, because, the more the merrier, as they say. Now that we've bought everything from her stock, she has one more item. Her Blessing. This is a special item for those who love charms as much as I do. Once you own 40 charms, I'll gladly sell it to you. You only need 12 more. 40 charms is exactly how many slots are on this screen. We need to collect every single charm in the game before she sells that to us. What are your thoughts, by the way? I don't think I've ever dream nailed you. You do. I really must hold it together. Must appear calm, but this creature is just divine. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Wait, do you have anything more to say to us now that I've bought all your stock? No, that's all your dialogue for what I assume to be the whole game. Good thing this village is one of the only places not tainted by the infection, except for those 2 bubbles you can see up there, which is a pretty cool detail. I think I've made most of my money back. Let's take off Fragile Greed, and in its place, sure, we'll try Glowing Womb. And then for a 1-notch charm, I'm gonna need Grub Song to make up for the lost soul. In fact, I should probably consider, putting on Soul Catcher to help with that. It'll be a minor effect, but I think it'll be worth it, and I haven't been using Spore Shroom that effectively. So yeah, let's go with that. Oh my god, there's the sound. Oh, it is surprisingly adorable. It's an adorable little hatchling that looks like us. I don't know how such a thing is being produced, but it is. And there they go, dealing 9 damage per hit on that enemy. Thing is, it couldn't even kill the regular guys in 1 hit, but it's passive damage. And honestly, I think the more passive damage kinds of charms that spawn in minions that attack stuff for you are kind of slept on in this game. Not a lot of people seem to like them, and I guess it's because they prefer, oh god, attacking the enemy head on, or they've just felt like the damage is never really enough for them, but I honestly think it's a great choice. Because, like, a lot of the bosses, especially as you get further and further into the game, demand a lot from you. And, like, not only do you have to get their moves down, not only do you have to... Wow, the grass has turned orange as well. I forgot about that little detail. Not only do you have to get their movesets down, but you also need to attack whenever you can in their openings. Can't open that with any way whatsoever. Needing to search for openings to attack while also dodging stuff can be quite demanding, so having a charm that basically, like, slowly damages the boss over time for you isn't the worst thing. It can really save your bacon in a lot of cases, where if you'd rather just, like, take a moment to just focus on dodging the boss rather than going in for your own hits, your passive damage charm could be damaging the boss that whole time, and they may even finish it off for you. It is a little bit less satisfying than finishing it off yourself, in my opinion, but still, it helps, and nothing wrong with it if it helps. The infection that passes from creature to creature grants strength and courage, but it also seems to enslave the will. Would you make such a bargain? Absolutely freaking not. Alright, so we've seen infected Crossroads. We've seen how garbage the infection is for everyone who lives in it. What do you say we waste no further time in starting our journey to take out the 3 Dreamers to hopefully open the way to the Hollow Knight and put an end to this? Oops, looks like we'll be wasting some time after all. I just wanted to show real quick what it's like to break a fragile charm. In fact, I don't think I've ever done it myself. The charm still exists in your inventory, but you cannot equip a charm that is broken. This charm is broken and the power inside has been silenced. It cannot be equipped. So on goes the long nail in its place. You can see my health has taken quite the hit from that. There we go. What? I was actually gonna try to keep my shade alive, but not only did I forget that I had, so I can show its downward attack, maybe get another attempt at that, but not only did I forget that I had the passive damage charm on, but it just killed itself on that enemy! That was fantastic! Hot springs are pretty invaluable when you're trying to use this charm. You might just want to stand in here for a little while so that your hatchlings can spawn themselves in. You are seeing one little side effect with the passive damage charms, though. I think I briefly showed it off before. Enemies like that, who you don't want to attack directly, the passive damage charms don't give a shit and they go for them anyway, and so you end up kind of making those enemies harder for yourself, but it's a matter of, like, knowing where and when to use it, because there's only a few areas that are like that. This area is one of them, and I think Fog Canyon is the only other one. Oh yeah, we haven't seen this yet. Ever since we had gotten Desolate Dive, we've been able to see this, but I haven't remembered until now. A fossilized gome wedged into the rock. This is how you get the journal entry for gomes. These brutes seem to be impervious to most damage, so you can sharpen your weapons on their thick hide or just slash away at them for your own amusement. They barely seem to notice. Yeah, they're just kind of minding their own business, but I would be too if I were an invincible hazard enemy. It's like, if you're invincible, if you know the main character is unable to kill you, then why would you even bother wasting the energy trying to fight them? Just, like, exist. Just vibe. Oh my god. I had to quickly go off screen so we wouldn't witness the violent, bloody death of that enemy up there. Let's face the music. You broke it! I gave you that charm as a gift, and you broke it! Clumsy little fool. Nasty. Apologize. Ask me nicely, and I'll fix it for you. Give me Geo, and I'll fix it for you. I love how he was like, apologize, and then I'll fix it for you, and then changed it to, give me Geo, and I'll fix it for you. That's... Maybe he realized they can't talk, and he knows that paying him is my only way of apology. Apology. It's broken now. Its power is sleeping. Very sad. Give me Geo, and I'll fix it. 200 Geo to repair it. I wonder if it's always 200 Geo, for its price depends on the price of the initial charm. But yes, here it is. We can re-equip it if we want to. I guess I could. Yeah, take off Long Nail. Let's re-equip Fragile Heart. Why not? Because I get the feeling with these guys around, I'm gonna be unable to heal a lot more often, so I would at least like to, have more health to compensate for that. Ooh, okay. Now that we have Eastmist here, we can actually go through there. But I have an agenda in mind, and I'd like to get to that first. Wow. I've only had to smack them once and then the hatchlings just murder them for me. We're gonna take a bit of a roundabout route towards Deepnest. I think Deepnest is right nearby from here, right? Yeah, you can see there's an area that goes up there, but there's also this. We saw that we needed double jump to get up here, or at the time we didn't know we needed double jump, but now we know that we do, knowing more about how the game world is designed. I hope that sentence made any sense at all. It probably did. Most of the time when I say that, the sentence does make sense. It's just that I word it weirdly, but it's okay. As long as you understand what I mean in the end, and that you enjoy the video in the end. You didn't get to show the full animation, but I'm sure I'll have chances in the future to do that. Anyway, right here it is. In case you don't remember what it looks like, there's this suspicious looking wall that looks like it's hiding something extra from us. We double jump, we now access a new area. We got more of you guys, alright. This is known as the Fungal Core. It's not that special of an area, really. It's just kind of more fungal wastes, but, you know, what's wrong with more fungal wastes? Fungal waste is a fun area. I'll take all the soul I can get with this charm active. Hi, Rancid Egg. Found you a little secret hallway for you. With you. What? Wait, there's a ledge there? Oh my god, this is a tiny little ledge here. You could just stand right there on that side of the room. That's funny. Alright. It's my new house. If this game had online messages like the game that lots of people like to compare it to, someone would definitely put house ahead there. Break that down, and yeah, here we go. That's just the opening. Yeah, here we go. It's just the opening. It's like hyping it up. Yeah! Here we go! It's the opening fucking area. I don't need to care about it. Alright, let me just get soul from you guys. Let me heal before any more hatchlings spawn. I think your heals still go through even if a hatchling spawns during it. I could be wrong, though. I feel like I've been able to, I've been healing at one use of soul, and then in the middle of that, a hatchling spawns, which would take me under the requirements, and I still healed anyway, so I think you get, you get a pity heal from it. So you're not completely screwed, as long as you've started healing by then. Oh my god. Similarly, I think these hatchlings might be able to hit those bombs and blow them up with sporgs. Pow. Okay. Cool. Cool. I'll take it. Honestly, that was useful. Like, the hatchlings went in, purposely blew up the bombs so that it just killed both the enemies, and I was able to stand there in between, not having to worry. That was actually great. Unintentional, but great. These charms can honestly be kind of fun to use, just having everything around you die, the feeling of, having something traveling with you, because this is the only way you can have, traveling companions or summoned minions of any kind. It's really cool. I love how varied the charms are in this game. There's some charms that's just show your location on the map, pick up Geo from anywhere in the room, increase your nail's range, and then spawn a minion to fight. I think there's a secret hole here. Yes, there is, with another bucket. Dear God, there's more. No. I may have said this earlier in the playthrough, but there actually is more. But I'll save that for later. We won't get too in-depth in the secrets of this game until after. I know I've already been over a lot of secrets in this game, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. You picking up what I'm putting down. Perhaps even catching what I'm throwing. That should be a new variant of that saying. Okay, another secret hole. It just seems to take you, seems to be a shortcut that takes you past these guys. That's how I was supposed to word it in the first place. It's another room of these guys with a sporg in the middle, so that's rough. Let me get out of the way of the sporg, and then pow. Pow on his... I was gonna say the sporg's fat little face, but no. The sporg is by far the skinniest thing in the entire room, so maybe that wasn't as fitting. Shroomal Ogre. Are these hulking things beasts, or are they mushrooms? I cut one in half and peered inside to find out, but could find no answers in its soft, stinking insides. So, basically they have nothing inside of them, and that's, you literally cannot tell what they are. Alright, further down, this room's really big. I think it might be one of the biggest rooms in the game, if I'm not mistaken. It seems that way, at least. Oh my god. Okay, cool. There goes you. Can double jump to get up there. Hey, got a piece of essence from killing an enemy. 684. I think we should be able to return to the seer. I think we've had 500 essence for a while. But we're on a mission. Seer can wait. The essence appears to be an optional side quest anyway. Let's go down here. Bap. I don't know what that attacking noise was. Just feel like I need to vary it up a little bit, you know? I can't just say pow. I can't just say boom. I can't just say kill you as I go to kill enemies all the time. Hi. Pale worm, what good to foresee a demise unavoidable? Pale worm, or weirm, however you want to say it. Never heard of that before. I have a feeling that this creature here, this character, whoever they are, was going to have a lot more importance early on, but then it ended up being cut as development got tight. To mention briefly, Hollow Knight was kind of a rush job on release. I remember apparently the release versions had bad performance, and a lot of the moderators who in Team Cherry's Discord were like saying to someone, I can't remember who, but there was a video that went over this, basically saying that Hollow Knight was actually kind of rushed to release. And so they had to cut a lot of things last minute, and that was probably one of them. Because I feel like this thing here is just chilling in the middle of this area. That's all it says. The Dreamnail dialogue. Can't do anything else with it. Ever. Not even involving the secrets involving those little wooden buckets. That doesn't have anything to do with it. If you don't know what I just said, don't worry about it. That's for later. So yeah, it's just kind of sitting there, pass it by, drop down, and in the end, you get a mask shard. And that's the end of the Fungal Core. I could definitely tell they wanted that area to be a little bit more important, but as it is now, it's just a special extra stretch of fungal waste that leads you to an upgrade, and that's it. And it has a name, unlike all the others. However, it leads us perfectly to where I wish to go next. Deepnest. Let's go. Let's get back in... What a great way to start! Wait a minute. If you die to the spikes, your hatchlings die with you. I didn't actually know that. That's kind of funny, but also lessens the usefulness of the charm a little bit. We've already been through these starting rooms, so I'll go through them real quick. Probably just cut through them. Oh my god, look. I can kill those guys in 2 hits, or possibly 3, but it feels like 2 because of my hatchlings. Either way, they're dying faster, and I'm all the happier for it. Alright, we have to climb up here to get around. Stop fleeing, stupid fucks. Just feels so unsatisfying that way. Hey, we got the Deep Hunter's lore. They can be hard to spot as they flitter in and out of the darkness. Watch for their glowing eyes. To be honest, I think I end up noticing everything about the Deep Hunter before the glowing eyes. Like, their glowing eyes is the last thing that I see whenever I see one appear in my vision, so I don't know how useful that tip is. My first destination in Deepnest shall be right here, actually, because you may have seen it as we came through here in an earlier episode. There is a lot more to this room than I showed. There's an open door just sitting right here, right for the exploring, and we could have gone here all the way back then the first time. I just chose to save it for a while because, well, you'll see. This is known as Failed Tramway. It's one of the few areas in Deepnest where you can actually see further than 2 feet in front of you. It also contains a new enemy I completely didn't acknowledge. You are a Carver Hatcher, the mother of the Dirt Carvers. They spawn Dirt Carvers slowly but surely, except not very slowly, they actually do it very quickly, to chase after you. That's their main attack. I think if you survive long enough without killing them, and, you know, they release enough Dirt Carvers, they will actually go in, charge in for an attack of their own. I might maybe like to show that, but I do have hatchlings following me, so that'll probably have to wait until later. I'll probably take the hatchling charm off for a while anyway, considering some things. Okay. I'll take the lifeblood. Thank you guys, you helped me get the lifeblood. And we also got the life seeds lore. The bright liquid inside these fellows is delicious, and drinking it will make you feel stronger. Ooh, it's like Ovaltine or whatever. I wonder how my own innards taste. Would it be a heinous thing to try and drink some? Probably not, but it would make others see you as kind of strange. But if you really want to, I mean, I can't stop you. Go ahead. I think there was a way we could have gone down earlier in the room, but that's not what's most important right now. What's most important right now is a little tram car here. Remember the tram stations we've been seeing that we have been always and forever unable to Wow, that was incredibly satisfying, that we've always and forever been unable to access. I think you catch my drift. I'll stay quiet about it from this point onwards. I like to dash over to them so I can stomp on them from above. Here's where the dirt carvers can start climbing up the walls. I like when you're in the air, dirt carvers get confused and they stop knowing what to do, and so they just sit there, look up at you, and make that noise. Like, if I could show it. Yeah, you see as they're like poking their head up, they're like, hey, what are you doing off the ground? Get down here. It's so funny. Now, those things have very disgusting deaths, don't they? At the end of this, we have cave-in, blocking the door. Inside this abandoned tram car. Tram pass! We have passed the test! At last! The last one was a huge stretch, but you know. Lifetime pass to the tramways connecting parts of Hallownest. These passes cost a huge amount of geo, and each purchase required authorization by the king. So I consider ourselves to be very lucky that we just picked up someone's dropped one down here. They don't need it anymore. They're dead. What are they gonna ride the tram for? To get around to their next murder victim quicker? Oh, how silly. That would never happen. I mean, like, you know, they're zombies, basically. All the infected enemies are zombies now, so they aren't thinking straight. They're not gonna be smart enough to use the tram like that. Who do you think they are? Something with a brain? We all know from Plants vs. Zombies that zombies' #1 goal is to eat your brain so that they can become smarter. Swapped out Glowing Room for Dash Master for the immediate area, but I think I'll switch on Glowing Room once again as we get deeper in. I just wanted to show some alternate things, and I don't want my hatchlings to be there killing them. That is another downside to having passive damage charms. Whenever I use them, I can no longer show enemy attacks that well. Here we go. Here's the Carver Hatcher's attack. After they spawn a few Carvers, they just charge at you, making that disgusting noise. They kind of sound like a fluke from the sewers. Get out of here. I freaking hate the sewers. So anything that reminds me of that place can go die instantly. Then again, Deepnest isn't a whole lot better than the sewers. Alright, we're going down to a new room. Since we filled out the map, this is where we're going. So may as well show that. This is uncharted territory. Uncharted spider nest territory. Dash across, hit you. Hit you as well. Yeah, see, I noticed the bodies of the Deep Hunters at first because their eyes don't glow that much. They don't glow until they actually start attacking you. Which, I guess that's what the hunter was referring to in terms of, wow, look out for their glowing eyes. If their eyes glow, it means they're about to shoot you with the thing. The guy died down below. Remember that now that we're back in Deepnest, corpse creepers exist. Every regular husk enemy you kill has a 50% chance of turning into one. It would have been so funny if this guy became a corpse creeper and then immediately died on the spikes. I would have loved to have seen that, but unfortunately, not only was I far away the whole time, but he didn't transform. It also might be possible that they can't transform if their corpse falls into spikes. That might actually be a behavior programmed in. I said programmed in. Hi, Spider, running by in the foreground. If any of y'all have an arachnophobia, I am very sorry for this next area, but it is time for it now. We did have to explore it at some point. And sadly, no, this game does not have an arachnophobia mode. Because it's a game about insects, so if you want to, like, take away the... Arachnids aren't insects, are they? It's one of those things science people are going to go crazy over in the comments if I say that, so never mind. I guess then the arachnophobia mode would be fine in a game filled with insects. Alright, could keep going further down, but this room looked awfully nice up here. I'd like to see what it has. Some stuff to cut? Yeah, you know, the nice-looking plants that look the most friendly out of anything we've seen so far. Get them out of here! Inside is a dead body with a dream.
Oh, a fellow warrior out here? I thought I was the only one brave enough and strong enough to survive in this foul, forgotten pit. I am Galien, the strongest warrior in Hallownest. I came to this monstrous place to test my strength. No doubt you wish to test your might as well, hmm? Yes, you and I are a rare breed, quite unlike this poor fellow who has fallen before us. The world is not kind to the weak, I fear. So then, shall we do battle? Let us test our strength in joyful combat!
Well, you just have to be the most friendly warrior dream we've seen so far. Aside from maybe Gorp, it was hard to tell. I'll happily take you up on that offer, and that's because you are one of my favorite warrior dreams to fight. I love this guy. Galien launches this thing at you. It is separate from himself, so he can like control it with his mind. And as such, it will automatically target you. As you can see, it is changing its direction as I go underneath it. You have to try and like make it fling ahead of yourself. You know, you have to maneuver around to make sure that it doesn't hit you. And, you know, make sure it's not like zooming at you at 1,000,000 miles per hour. Keep dashing under it repeatedly. He'll occasionally put it away in favor of to take a little small break, such as now, then send it back at you shortly. After you've dealt enough damage, he unleashes yet another projectile flying around the room. This one he does not control, it just goes around aimlessly. If you run into it, it's your own fault. Just basically filling up the room with collisions to a wow, I stunned him out of his animation there. That was pretty cool. I hit him out of it, I mean. All right, dash under. Galien himself also hurts you. This is one case where I kind of wish he didn't. Either his contact damage was turned off or he flew a little bit higher, because now there's like literally 4 projectiles in this room to dodge, and that could be a little bit insane. But I don't mind. It's just so much fun. It's pretty hard, but that's why I like it. Oh god, it's hard and it's really fun to master, dashing underneath that big thing. All right, here we go. Blast him with some soul. This is why I didn't want the hatchlings with me. With the hatchlings with me, this guy would probably be dead by now. I'm not even joking. Because they do a ton of damage at once, and with the amount of hits I'm also getting on him, it would accelerate this fight into done even quicker. And honestly, there's a part of me that's really sad whenever the bosses in this game are done, because they're all so much fun. When I land that final hit, I'm like, aww, it's over.
Unbelievable. I'm defeated at last. So this is what it feels like to be bested.
Your weapon is also extremely stunned by the defeat. Look at it quivering up there. Oh my god.
Still though, I am strong, am I not? When you see our king, surely you'll tell him of my valor? Yes. He sent you here to test me, didn't he? I knew he had not forgotten brave Galien. I am ready to join you now. Brothers, you and I, let us leave this place together.
Tell the truth, I haven't talked to the king once, but when I see him, I'll be sure to let him know about you. It's still up there. I thought it would disappear with it. What is it doing? What is this? I didn't know that could happen. The body of a fallen warrior. Man, that was fun. I also love the mushrooms in the background. His arena is also really cool. One of the best features of Deepnest right there is that fight. I love that fight so much. At the top of the room here is a bit of lifeblood. If you wish, if you're struggling against this guy, it might be worth your while to come up here and grab this 3 lifeblood. Can't hurt. Literally, it can only heal you. Oh my god, alright, I need to get out of here before I keep being distracted by that. I have an agenda that I must complete, and honestly, we're not... Well, no, actually, with the defeat of Galien, we are getting pretty close there. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name. I'll go with Galien. I've said Galien before. Could be, like, Galien? I don't know. I'm not really sure, but either way, it's a name, and I'll try to say it the best I can. That's all I can really promise with that. Down here, we enter the webbed region of the Deepnest. It's worth noting that both the previous room, as well as this one, are pitch black rooms that you need the lantern to see properly in. Blast all you guys to shape. Could you imagine the kind of nightmarish boss that we're about to be facing down here? Like, this area feels so oppressive, the enemies are creepy, and, you know, they're spiders, and humans are, like, naturally wired to be afraid of spiders. This is part of the reason why I packed all of this health. Ooh, let me climb up the spikes here. Then dash out to show where this connects to. Right now, I am here in this opening, shown here where my cursor is. I should probably clarify that. Hey, you know what? Wait. Why don't I go back to the hot spring real quick? Just so I can, like, sit at a bench, maybe switch on glowing womb again, because benches are pretty rare down here. This is what I was hoping for. That's why this is actually the main reason I came back to the bench, because now Quirrell is here. You have to go through this room a couple of times before he appears. I'm not sure exactly what his triggers are, but here he is now. Hello, hello. What a thrill this is to find such warm comfort amidst the den of beasts. This is a ferocious place, no doubt. Supposedly there's a village deep in the Warren. Its inhabitants never accepted Hallownest's king. I can tell. They're rude to any outsiders. Why not join me for a time? These waters do wonders for weary legs. Agreed. And while I do, I may as well point out the fact that the mantises were protecting the rest of the world from Deepnest. And because apparently the inhabitants of Deepnest never accepted Hallownest nor its king, I wonder if there's a little thing going on there. Also, I love the detail that Krill leaves his nail by the bench, resting by the bench. Only happens while he's here, which makes sense. He would want to keep his weapon on him. Okay, no, I want to keep on Fragile Heart and the other soul charms. We're just putting back on Glowing Womb. Because honestly, these areas are gonna start to get kind of annoyingly full of enemies, and I think Glowing Womb genuinely, like, counters that to a degree that I think is kind of fun. So I think Glowing Womb is a pretty good charm to bring into these parts of Deepnest for that reason. At least I hope it'll turn out that way, because I tried it on one of my previous playthroughs of this game, and though the effects were nice at first, eventually they started consuming so much soul that I couldn't even heal anymore, and that actually led to a death. So let's just hope that doesn't happen. This might very well be the first video where I die unintentionally. Especially if I do that. So, yeah, let's watch the heck out. Pow! Oh, I should have actually, like, yelled at him, because that's what the attack is. Okay, heading further into the spider's den. New enemy, and not a favorite of mine. Especially with this. This is going so well. This is a Stalking Devout, and I'm just gonna say it right away. This is my least favorite enemy in Hollow Knight. They walk back and forth like this. If you hit their face, I think they will attack you real fast, and they're only open for hit, like, as they're about to attack. So you want to wait around them, then as they open their face, that's when you attack. And then you can blast soul on them in the meantime. I also want to make sure no hatchlings spawn, because the hatchlings actually made that harder for me. Oh, god damn it. Okay, yeah, if you attack him like that, he'll unleash the attack much faster. Do not go in and hit the faceplate. Otherwise, they'll just hit you, and they deal 2 damage per hit. You want to sit in front of them and wait for them to open it up. That's why I don't like them, is because you have to wait for an RNG call to pass before you can actually attack them. And it's so annoying, and they have so much health, and oh my god. And if you don't know how to fight them, they're hard. They gave so many new players pain as a result, including, I assume, if I remember correctly, I had a lot of trouble with them on my first playthrough because they're hard to learn, and then once you do learn them, they're just really boring to fight after that. On my top 10 most annoying Hollow Knight list that I haven't made, those guys easily take #1 spot. I hate those enemies so much. These enemies are a little bit better. I believe these are weavers? What are they? Oh my god. Sometimes the journal will go to the most recently obtained entry, and sometimes it won't. I don't know why. Little Weaver, here we go. I like this because they're a flying enemy, but they're not in the traditional sense. They're weaving pieces of web in the air to move around. It's pretty cool. They basically spawn in from the background, fly towards you. That's about it. They fly towards you on their tiny little web breaches. Heal up. Hope these hatchlings don't mess this up for me, because I think there's another Stalking Devout in here. Okay. Yeah, you go attack that guy. Sure. I'll heal. Perfect. This is the area where I think the reason why I died in my run through this area where I was using Glowing Womb is because of these guys. Because they do 2 damage a hit, so they're really strong. God. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna watch out for that. Gonna watch out for my hatchlings being stupid. Take any chance that I can to strike from above. And to blast with soul. Let me heal real quick. Okay. Further in, we have this. Just a dead end for now. Oops, accidental spoiler. Oh no. There's only a few dead ends in rooms like that, weird dead ends in rooms like that have actually been weird dead ends and haven't led to something, so I think it's understandable that I let something slip sometimes. Or that I let that slip right there in that particular situation. Die. You were a lot closer than I realized you were. Those guys, what are they? Deeplings. Do they grow up into the deep hunters, I wonder? I think they might, honestly. Infant of the Deepnest, scuttles about in the darkness, learning to lay out its home. It's basically just a crawlid, walks back and forth, doesn't pay you any mind, but it does so very quickly, and that's the only way that they are different from a crawling. Blast you down. You drop a lot of geo. At least we're getting a lot of money from this with the help of Gathering Swarm. Okay, Deepnest loves putting these fragile floors of spikes underneath, especially in this area. There are so many over here. It's unreal. I think I remember where most of them are, but you can rely on your reaction time to get out of the way. Or you'll probably just, you know, fall in most of them. If you end up falling in one, you can save yourself with wall jump, with well-timed dash and wall jump. But then you might just end up throwing yourself onto a different one that then just ends up hitting you anyway, so... Okay, I'm gonna blast you with soul, honestly, before I even start! God, I hate you guys. Okay. That was a tiny window for me to hit that, but thankfully contact damage with these guys only deals 1. Okay, so then keep my distance. Perfect, okay. So if you're bringing Glowing Womb down here like I recommended, these guys will be a little bit harder, but I think you should just, like, you know, keep your distance, because I think, even though... I grab up there. I'll be sure to find a way to you. Even though the hatchlings are essentially, like, opening yourself up for damage in those moments when they hit the face shield and cause them to attack sooner, they are inflicting damage on it. So, over time, it will die, and if you just blast them with soul whenever you have the chance, it will work. As it's been working for me so far. And if you don't have enough soul, well, then it's fine. Just revert back to the strategy I recommended and don't get hasty like that. No, let's just... I didn't realize I still had enough to spawn one. Okay, I think that heal may have been canceled if I hadn't started it by then, so that's good. God, fuck you! Stop spawning. Okay. And that was apparently 8 soul. That counted. But it makes sense. Hitting an enemy gives you 11 soul, so yeah, that makes perfect sense, actually. Any weavers so I can replenish my health? No, but I'm just gonna show this right away. There's a hidden wall here that takes you to secrets. This hidden wall is surprisingly hard to find. This was one of the few things I had to look up on my first playthrough, because I did not know this thing was here, and I don't blame myself. The fact that there's no indication to this thing's existence whatsoever is kind of weird to me, personally. I can understand it in other parts of the game, but here, I really don't get this one. This is an ominous-looking entrance to not a very ominous area, honestly. The Weaver's Den. The Weavers are the race of spiders that live down in Deepnest. They are the 6-eyed folk we've been seeing. We've been seeing their infected remains reanimated and attacking us. But this is apparently closer to what they were like when the world was at its prime. Hera. Hera the Beast? Like the one resting over this way? Is that Hera? Okay, this area down here is actually, honestly kind of hard to get through. Wait until he's on the other side, then go in and get hit anyway, and it's fine, because it's the only enemy down here. I'm not here supposed to grab that. Okay, get you. That. I think there's, yeah, they hit you with a breakable spike right towards the very end, and all you get is a rancid egg? Alright. Thankfully it respawns you outside of it, which I'm thankful for because I fucking need health. I might actually die. Okay. You guys are wasting my goddamn soul! Or at least you killed that guy for me. I'll take that, but now I need to not mess up this section. Ow! Oh, no, nope. Not doing that. Okay. Okay. I could Crystal Heart. In fact... I think the safest thing for me to do here, Crystal Heart from here. Okay, good. If I got hit by that enemy on the way over, I would have been comboed into the spikes and instantly killed from that. So allow me. Grab, heal. Good. All right. I healed before a hatchling spawned, so I got 1 point of health back. What do you guys have to say before I pick up this item? Princess. For protection. This charm, I presume? It's actually not far off. Weaver Song for 2 notches. This is gonna sound a little familiar in a little bit. You are followed by 3 tiny weaverlings, tiny little spiders, which, similarly to the hatchlings, attack enemies for you. And unlike the hatchlings, they don't cost any soul. This is free as long as you have the notches. In exchange, however, they only deal 3 damage per hit instead of 9. That said, though, it's yet another passive damage charm, our second one in the game, and we got it in the same video. I'll probably end up swapping out Glowing Womb for this as time goes on because, you know, Glowing Womb deals a lot of damage, but it takes your soul, and there aren't a lot of areas where it's great. Even the area that I just recommended it for, I'm now seeing that it's really not that great because of the Stalking Devout, so actually, never mind, you might not want to bring Glowing Room here. Weaver's Song, though, has a lot more of a place throughout the whole game, and I don't know if they do the same thing to the Stalking Devout, so I guess I'll have to see when I finally get back to a bench. I gotta say, if there's any mechanic of this game that I've ended up kind of not liking as time goes on, it's the fact that... Oh, okay, weird. It's the fact that you have to go back to a bench to switch your charms. Because thinking about it more, I don't really know what that accomplishes. It's like, I guess they want you to have your builds ready for the next area, but I feel like only allowing players to switch there just makes players more prone to forget that they have charms in the first place. Because, like, they'll be picking up a charm in the environment, they'll head to their inventory screen, they'll look at it, and for that while, they'll be like, oh yeah, I have charms, I should check them out, but I can't do it right now. The next time they find a bench, they'll just forget about it. And also, it makes it harder for me to actually demonstrate what charms do, because I just have to describe what they do, and then show it off later, whenever that'll be. Must have been my imagination. Back out we go. I believe the little weavers are... yeah, they're minor enemies, so they just respawn when you leave the room, thus we can get as much soul as we like off of them. Slowly work our way back up to full. However, we still have so many more Stalking Devouts to kill, unfortunately, for me. Hello there. I will not take you out because... oh my god, alright. I will not take you out because you are mean and evil, and I hate mean and evil people. Alright. There's a spike floor. Did I just say, like... wait, I just realized what I just said. I said I will not take you out because you're mean and evil. No, I'll take you out because you're mean and evil. My grasp on the English language is quite questionable sometimes. Another Whispering Root right here that we just happened upon. It spreads itself all the way throughout the entire room, including the original area, so we have to go all the way back down there and get back through, and this room is really annoying to navigate. And you're kind of starting to see why I'm not that big a fan of Deepnest. It's not just because it's like, oh, it's so spooky, I hate spending time in there because it's scary. Honestly, I don't find it that scary, personally. I just find it really fucking annoying. The navigation is so obnoxious, you can barely see more than 3 feet in front of you. You're surrounded by enemies at all times, and well, they're trying to, like, overwhelm you with, like, look at how many creepy crawlies there are surrounding you, but that type of horror doesn't really work for me. I find that I get more scared of slower burn experiences. Like, in terms of creepiness factor, I'd say Ancient Basin is creepier than this place is. Just my opinion, though. Alright, I'm honestly gonna avoid collecting any more soul for hatchlings, or... no, well, I need soul to heal, so I'm gonna... if I want to heal, I'm gonna have to unavoidably collect stuff. But yeah, Deepnest is not my favorite thing, and you're gonna be seeing as we unveil more of the map of this place. It has such a weird design. It's super inconvenient to traverse, kind of similar to Infected Crossroads in that way, and I'll be sure to give my thoughts on Infected Crossroads later on. But yeah, it might not be my least favorite area in the game, partially because the reasons why I don't like going through it are some of the, like, entire concepts that the area is going for. Like, yeah, the area's full of shit, it's dark, oppressive, you can barely see shit, like, it's meant to be unpleasant to travel through, and it is, so... congratulations, you did the job. The Deepnest is annoying to go through, and that's the point. So, like, you know, why am I complaining about that? Well, you know, I think anyone has reason to complain about going through Deepnest, really. Whether they find it scary, or they find it annoying, like me. Alright, let me... I hate you. At least you get stuck there, so I can actually, like, hang out at the edge of that platform. The spikes here create quite the hazard, though! Okay, good. This guy is much easier to fight than I thought, actually. How? And then... finally. Okay, there's you down. And there's the Whispering Root all collected. There's a passageway up, but the far more important passageway is this grub, as we all know. Well, now that the grub has been rescued, now upwards is the most important direction for us right now. It's been promoted. This room. I love cheesing my way through this room with the power of the bouncing on spikes. I don't need that soul. I'll just go up the walls. You can just go up the walls wherever you are. It's so much fun. No need to actually do the normal platforming the normal way. Just bounce up like that. It's even better if you have double jumps so you can skip more of it. Okay, there goes that. For those of you who are like, no, but the platforming in this game, you need to appreciate every bit of it. Oh, don't you worry. The platforming has yet to reach its climax. Okay. Pow. By my estimation, I get the feeling that the main body of this playthrough, that is the journey through Hallownest, to be specific, is gonna be around 20 episodes long, similar to Dark Souls 3. This is episode 10, so with that estimation, we are halfway through. So I better start freaking wrapping this up quick, huh? But don't worry, we'll be getting there. Okay, might have to make certain later videos longer as a result of that, but that's fine, right? Pow. This area is simply full of little weavers. I wonder where's the big weavers. I'm guessing, well, okay, the stalking devouts are kind of the big weavers, but I'm guessing that might just be who we're about to fight eventually. Because we gotta fight something down here, right? There's a big egg in the wall here. This kind of looks like the doorway that led to Hornet's first arena. Hornet's boss. But instead of leading to a boss fight, it leads to a rather eccentric fellow. Who might you be? There's a mask or face upon the creature. In Hallownest, a difficult thing it can be to decipher. A wonderful thing to have, a face, not a thing with which we are all blessed. For this kingdom's faceless, I shall provide. A mask, a face, does it need one, does it not? To define, to focus, to exist. If only I could attack you so I could see if you emitted orange blood, because, I mean, maybe for some people the infection zombifies them, and then for others they're just like, keep going on their endless task from the past or something. A mask, a face, does not divine forces to exist. Yeah, okay, you get the point. What do you think about the mask maker? If we were to leave the room and go back in, I can't tell, but there are multiple different masks he can be wearing. He may have just switched it out. I'll try a couple more times to be sure, but in the meantime, let's see what your thoughts are. Does it know of the face that hides beneath? Such remarkable contrast the worm conceived. Oh no, you have a face under your mask? Who could have known? I know he was just talking about the fact that, like, masks can be faces in their own way. Alright, I want to say that's the last mask he can be wearing, just that little pointy hat, but let's try a couple more times. There we go. Okay, so this is the last mask he can be wearing. Very interesting. There's another secret involving this guy. Reveal your... I forgot that the down button also talks to people. Reveal your true self! If you desolate dive in the room, you knock the mask right off his face. It sees the face beneath, or could it just be another mask? Truth and Hallownest is always very deep. How many layers will it pry through? Onions have layers, donkey. I don't know how that quote goes. To change a face, to conceal it fully within another. A powerful protection, that is, but one with sad consequence. The original mind is destroyed, though those of striking will may still retain a sliver of that concealed self. Faces I grant to all who request, not task for I, but aid, gift to a well-deserving. That is the last thing you say. Does it know? Yes, I do know of the face that hides beneath, because I'm seeing it right now. I have a small theory I'd like to test. Okay, seems like no. Well, first of all, he puts his mask back on once you leave the room, but no, this guy is not actually a backer-created character. I had a feeling that he was, because otherwise, I don't know what he's doing here. I mean, he's the one who's been making all the masks you've been seeing all over the place, supposedly, or who's been making most of them. He probably wasn't alone in his endeavors. With a place as big as this, there had to be multiple people doing that. But, you know, he is a mask maker, so it's a nice little discovery and a little weird side distraction in the middle of Deepnest. Anyway, back to Deepnest. I believe we have been everywhere we can be inside this large spider room, except for one place, which is not marked on our map yet. The leftmost doorway. Hello, give me your soul. And then die forever. Thank you. Let me just, yep, there we go. And then, boop, there we go. Perfect. Onward. Ever deeper. Careful, because I think in this hallway they have, no, they don't. Okay, I thought there was a fragile ground there, but there's not. Interesting little room there. I wonder what that could be there for. I like that statue in the background. Also has 6 eyes, the same as all the other enemies around here, and the same as the big, dreamer face on our map. What does it all mean? I think I have a pretty good idea of what it all means, but you know. Okay, get you. Then I think this is fragile. Yep, don't need stomp for it, though. You just need legs. And thankfully, you start the game with those, already equipped. No need to find them. I think I brought up the silly idea in the past of a Metroidvania where, like, at the start you can't even move and you have to find your legs. Because there's lots of, like, indie Metroidvanias that start you off without the ability to jump. Like, you have to walk through a predetermined area to get the ability to jump. You're that limited at the beginning. Okay, that's fragile ground. They don't always use this stone, like, official tile flooring to indicate that, so I thought I'd point it out here as a special occurrence. That's not what I meant. Jump over the spike bed, and into the next area. Distant village. We heard of this place from Coral, and now we've arrived. Take care not to fall. It's quite a long way back up. Across. We have a room here we can enter. One of the few houses, I guess? Uh-oh. I may be killing them as enemies, but this looks very, very ominous. I don't know if I like this place. Not friends. They lied. I don't know if I would trust anyone down in Deepnest, so they probably had it coming to them. Let's dash across. Way up there, but this entrance beckons me. I mean, after all, who could resist when the door is surrounded by such an elegant structure? Greetings. You are very tired. Sit and rest. We are friends. Welcome. Sit and rest. Please, sit and rest. It is warm and safe. Sit and rest. Welcome. You need rest. Sit and rest.